new song Cafe at worshiptogether.com. My name is Tim Hughes. I'm here in London at Holy Trinity Brompton Church, and we are looking at a song called Now's the Time for Us. So why don't you sit back, get your best cup of English tea and enjoy. It's great to be joined by the Worship Central team. We've got Luke Hellebrandt, Martin Lazelle, who wrote the song with Dr. Oliver Snelling. Ben Bryant is playing percussion. It's great that you guys are here. Why don't you tell us about how this song, Now's the Time, came about?
Yeah, well, I was leading worship at this weekend for younger people in the church, and the theme of the weekend was Now's the Time. And so just sort of got thinking on that theme, and actually the guy running the weekend was like, oh, why don't you write a song? And so I took this idea to Worship Central songwriting retreat that we were all on. And Martin, Ollie and myself were in a group together, started sort of bouncing ideas off each other and looking at this theme of Now's the Time. And Martin really brought a great thought.
Wow, did you?
What a shock. Yeah, well, I think as well as the Now is the Time theme, we were really thinking about the whole, well, I was thinking about the whole Exodus story. Yeah. You know, when God promises stuff to us as Christians, what does that mean when we're not necessarily walking into those promises, and thinking about that Exodus story for the people of God coming into that promised land, and just the sense of freedom and hope that comes, and wow, you know, here we are, we're really moving into that. Now is the time to get into what God's got for us.
Great, it was a massive theme. It'd be great to hear the song.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Our hearts will not forget all of your promises. Your words are truth. Out of the wilderness, we run into your grace. You set us free, and we won't turn back. You're the only way. Now is the time for us to sing of your great love. We worship you, God, forever you, God. We hear you calling us to show the world your love. The sound of freedom will be our anthem. We're daring to believe, trusting you what's unseen. By faith we'll see. You're lighting up the night, new hope that shines so bright, eternally. And we won't turn back. You're the only way. Now is the time for us to sing of your great love. We worship you, God, forever you, God. We hear you calling us to show the world your love. The sound of freedom will be our anthem. We're yours forever. We stand together. We trust in you, our God. We look to you, our God. We're yours forever. We stand together. We follow you, our God. Now is the time for us to sing of your great love. We worship you, God, forever you, God. We hear you calling us to show the world your love. The sound of freedom will be our anthem.
Great, love it. Fantastic song. Luke, just perhaps show us some of the shapes of chords.
So yeah, actually on the album it was in B flat, but we're in A, and capo 2, G shapes. So the intro is C, G, A minor, E minor. But for the intro, I was just doing this thing which actually follows the riff, the hook on the album, which is this.
Just quickly do that.
Yeah, so it's the same chords, but it's just using this kind of cool shape.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, so it just follows the intro hook on the album. And the chords are really easy. In the verses, it's C, G, A minor, E minor, C, G, D.
Yeah.
And then the pre-chorus just holding that C.
Yeah.
And then the chorus really just goes between this sus and then to the E minor, to the C.
Great.
And then the bridge, slightly more complicated, just form-wise, it's D, B minor, C, G. And then the second half is D, E minor, C.
Great.
So yeah.
Brilliant. And I love the theme. Obviously, it's the story of the people of God, but it's very much linking it to mission, to, I guess, the theme of justice, of getting out there. Tell us a bit about that, Martin.
Well, I think it's this idea that actually you can't have mission as a standalone thing and you can't have worship as a standalone thing. Actually, they're the opposite sides of the same coin. You know, I think what we need to do is we need to be people of God who recognise His promises over our lives, and that actually propels us from a place of worship out into the world, taking that to the streets.
Brilliant. Well, thanks, guys, for sharing it. Great song. And that is Now's the Time for Us.
We worship you, God, forever.